Okay, so today we're going to be looking more at just ground up coding in Robot C, starting with how to turn on and off modal. So turning on modal, very simple. Start modal, and then parentheses. Remember, always put a semicolon at the end of lines. So the first thing you put in when start modal is the name or port number of your modal. And so you might call your modal like right modal, or if you don't have like a specific name you will refer to it, let's say you plug it in on your call text to port 3. So port 3. And then comma, how fast you want it to go. Modals can go from -127 all the way up to +127. So 127 is full speed, and we'll put it at that. Okay, so now we've got a modal spinning at full speed once the program starts. We only want to spin for a certain amount of time though, so we'll say wait 3 semicolon. So this will wait for 3 seconds, and then it will do the next line. Stop modal, and because you don't stop modal at a specific speed, you just need to tell its port number and semicolon. So how a computer reads is just like a human reads. It reads left to right, top to bottom. So it says task main, so it's the main task. Okay, the main task is to do everything in these 2 brackets. So what's the first thing? Start the modal. Okay, I've started the modal. What now? Wait 3 seconds. Okay, I've waited 3 seconds. What now? Stop the modal. And that's all it's going to do. So this type of code is an example of a closed loop system. A closed loop, open loop system. An open loop system relies solely on time, and doesn't use sensors to figure out what to do. So an open loop system in our case just waits 3 seconds and then stops the modal. Let's try running a closed loop system, which are generally more efficient and more precise. Okay, as you can see down here, I've added in the closed loop system, which is almost the same thing as an open loop system, except we've got one main difference, which is this line here, until touch. So this is going to wait until we touch a bump switch, which we've named bump. If you name your bump switch something like Tom, you would put Tom in here. But bump is generally a pretty good name for a bump switch, because Tom is a stupid name for a bump switch. So what this will do is it will start the modal, and then, remember, computers read top to bottom. It'll wait until we touch the bump switch, and then it will stop the modal. So this is a closed loop because it's doing something until you get an external input from a system, from a sensor. So that's why it's called a closed loop, because it's closed. It's getting feedback from itself. This is basic. I mean, if you're going to actually write code, you always want to be using a closed loop system, because code does not always work. And let's say you're driving a car and you start the modal and you say drive for 3 seconds, and because it takes 4 seconds to generally hit a wall, if you accidentally go a tiny bit faster, and then you just crash into a wall. So something like a closed loop system would stop you until touch, until you hit the wall, and then stop the car. Okay, so that's closed loop open loop systems and how to start modals using the until and wait structures. As a review, actually, let's look at an open loop. An open loop has an open loop means that it runs on time, and a closed loop means it runs based on sensor feedback, like a bump switch, a light sensor, any type of sensor. And how to start and stop modals, you just write start modal, uppercase M, lowercase everything else, and then port number, speed, comma, speed, semicolon. Wait statements, wait for this long, and then they go on to do the next thing. And then to stop modal, you just say stop modal port number, semicolon. And finally, for until statements are like wait statements, in that they do something and then wait for something to happen. But waits only for time, while until wait for something, wait for central input, which is the difference between open and closed loop. Okay.